All right. So good evening. This is Joette with ballooncoach.com, and today we're going to talk about an important topic, which is training. And because I have the pleasure of moderating 3 different groups on Facebook, one of the things that often comes up is the question of where do I go for training and how do I decide what training is best for me? So number one, I want to let you guys know that if you go to my blog, there is a list of questions that if you don't catch them all tonight, you can go in and print them off and go through these questions step by step. And so I put that link into your chat so you can copy and paste it and have it for later on to save. But basically it goes through asking you what is it that your goals are for your business. So knowing what it is what you want for your business, whether it's that you're trying to do a part-time income, a full-time income, doing balloons for your church, your family, or if you're entertainer focused or decor focused, knowing those questions up front is going to help you choose the right courses. So that is one of the places that I want you to start. And when you push buttons, it's always helpful if the things move. All right, so if you are wanting to know how to find training and how to choose what's best for you, you're in the right place. The first thing that I want to do is talk to you a little bit about the difference of having training that's in person and live and hands-on, or going somewhere, sorry, let me try that again. Whether you go live somewhere, get to actually physically touch the balloons and work with other people, or if it's better for you to go online, or maybe you need to do both. So the first thing I want you to do to start your research is go to ballooncoach.com. We have a variety of partners and resources on our website that we link to. So you can always start there and then branch off to a lot of different places. The benefits of in-person training is it increases your hands-on experience. Your confidence is raised because you actually inflate the balloons, make them into what you need to do, and now you feel more confident to make something in the future when your client asks you to do it. In-person trainings also allow you to actually rub shoulders with and meet other people in the industry that now can become your support network, and in the future help you with questions and concerns. And one of my favorite things is you can take a lot of photos at the event to now show your clients of, hey, I was here, I made this, I can do this for you. So to me, those are some of the top benefits of in-person training. Guys, do you have any other tips that you would suggest for people of the benefit of going to an in-person training?
Well, I think the networking that comes not with your instructor, but with the people around you is so valuable. That interaction just means that it sticks in your head more and you go home with a whole lot more than just from the instructor.
Great point, Jan. Jonathan, how about you?
Yeah, I would say once you know the basics of balloons, which I would assume a lot of people coming to this are trying to grow their business, so you have the basics, hopefully you have those down. You'll learn a lot more just by working with other people and seeing all the little tips and tricks that they do that is natural to them and they don't think about like as a teaching point. But you'll pick all that stuff up on the way and you'll think, you just saved me so much time because I'm doing it the slowest way possible of certain designs. You'll come away with motivation. And then what you don't get in videos and what you don't get a lot watching YouTube stuff is you don't get to understand how other people see things. And when you go through somebody's class and they're talking about how they see the world and they see new ideas by looking at a palm tree and think, wow, I can make that out of balloons. I mean, or when they look at something that's not normally balloon related and it gets their wheels turning about some new design they want to come up with. When you hear other people talking that way, it makes you reorient how you think about the world with regards to your job. And you come away really motivated to kind of view your job, your company, and everything a little bit different. You're not going to get that watching it on a computer.
Those are great tips. Thank you, Jonathan. How about you, Katie? Anything you'd add about a benefit of going to in-person training?
You know, I think Jan and Jonathan nailed both of my things on the head. The networking is unbelievably valuable. My very best friend in the whole wide world that I talk to 6 hours a day, I met through balloons, and it was at a balloon training event. And so we support each other in life and in business and in everything. And a lot of the people that I've turned to for support and advice and, just kind of trying to noodle through designs are people that I have met at in-person trainings. And then I think learning those tips and tricks, there's always so much information coming at you, and it's really hard to try and navigate through it. But there's always that one huge aha moment. We'll never forget when Patty Sorrell taught me how to tie a ribbon onto a foil in 2 seconds flat, and it blew my mind, changed my world, made me more efficient. So I think those things are really, and you can't get them anywhere else but being there in person, and it's just those little things that make our life so much easier in the long run.
It's about the interaction. I think an instructor doesn't really see, without the interaction, things that maybe someone is not catching or missing, and having that one-on-one, even if it's a group of you, looking somebody in the eye who can read you is so important to be able to learn what they're trying to convey to you. That's incredibly important to be able to pull all the little bits together that maybe you just can't pick up on, a little video. Videos are great, but this is so much better.
Welcome back, King of Latex, Eddie. we are sharing the benefits of in-person training.
Yes, I see.
So if you come to training with Eddie, you can see his crown.
That's very important.
All right, Liz, you want to add anything to that?
Sure. For me, I think it was more about increasing my confidence and my ability to be able to make big decor pieces. Prior to coming to any educational opportunity, we weren't really doing big decor pieces. We were helium bouquets, and pretty much that was it. That was our bread and butter. I went to my first educational experience with Stephen Jones. It was unbelievable. I got to feel and touch and work with the balloons, and through that experience, I went away with pure confidence that I could pull off a wedding. I could pull off like big decor pieces. When people used to come to me before and they'd be like, hey, can you do this? I'd be like, I wasn't totally sure. I just kind of like tried to wing it. But then after attending this in-person training, I knew I could do it. Plus the connections that I made with the people there in the same class, I was able to rely on them and ask them questions, or if I wasn't sure how to work something out, I could shoot them a message over Facebook. And because I already had that connection in person, we had that relationship. So I was able to use them for support and help. And like literally every training opportunity I have gone to, especially Eddie's, oh my gosh, I have like come away with, everything you're talking about here applies, because I've taken photos of everything we've made, and I've literally made sales before I even got home. Having that, just unbelievable. Increased my confidence, my ability, just everything. I had photos for my portfolio, shared them on Facebook like crazy, and Valley just took off. It was unbelievable. We went from $9,000 to $53,000. It was just crazy. Like in the span of 1 year, it was unbelievable. So, it all applies. That hands-on is so incredibly valuable and amazing and worth every penny. And then some.
And so I want to reiterate what Liz just said. She went from selling $9,000 of balloons a year to $53,000 a year in her first year after training. So that just shows you how much momentum that you can build and confidence from going to a in-person training. So I love that part of your story, Liz. All right, so what I'm going to do is going to go ahead and talk about benefits of online training. A couple of things that are obvious and off the bat is that you don't have the extra expense of travel. There's no travel costs. You can actually have continued support from the comfort of your home or office to watch a DVD, a download. And with ballooncoach.com, we have an extensive program where I can actually be working with you on a daily basis through online support. So with online training, you can be able to do it at any time if you are a person who has to be at home for your children, or you have to be a caretaker for a spouse or a family member, and you just honestly cannot get away from where you live, then that online training can really help you out. Guys, is there any other tips you have on benefits that you've seen in the past of online training that you may have done?
Joette, I watch your webinars all the time, and some of my favorite tips and tricks that I've learned are from webinars. Like, I met Tommy through a webinar, and then to see him in person, he was such a rock star. But learning all the little tips and tricks that these people do is really, really quite amazing, because everybody runs their business a different way, and so. Yeah, you may not be able to afford going someplace to take a class, but learning that through this online class is really, really unbelievable. And getting so many different perspectives from the comfort of your own home is pretty amazing.
Thanks, Liz. And actually, Liz was also one of our webinar speakers. So in addition to using our services, she's actually helped out too. So I appreciate she has insights from both of those. Does anybody else have any experience from online training that you guys have taken a part of?
Well, I want to make a comment. If I am not going to answer your question, but I would like to make one comment, and then we can head back. I do want to say that what Balloon Coach has to offer on the online training, because we were going on and on about, the in-person, which is the very, very best. But just like Liz said, if you have things, commitments, you can't get away, it's too expensive, or you can't travel that far, then I want to say that Balloon Coach has that personal connection, unlike just watching something on YouTube, which is better than nothing. But Balloon Coach has the touch and the knowledge to be able to give people so much more than what you will find anyplace else.
Thank you, Jan. I really appreciate that. And there are other people who offer downloads and trainings online, and we'll go through some of that this evening. So I just want to make sure you guys know that sometimes you're going to have to settle for online training when you cannot physically get to an in-person training for some reason. And it's a great way to invest in yourself and start that ball rolling. But as soon as you can get to a live event, I highly encourage you to do it, because it seems like the benefits from the relationships you build while you're at those events is far greater than anything you can ever get from just learning online. So what we're going to do is jump into some of the trainings that are coming up. I'm going to start with a program that we have coming up in November that's exciting, that I want you, that's why our instructors are here, for you to meet some of them in person and find out a little bit more about our program. And then from there, we are going to go into our other websites and other events that are coming up in the next year that I think are great for people to get to. So let me go ahead and minimize this. And on ballooncoach.com, when you hit the home page, you will see all these headings up here. Go to Retreat and Orlando 2018 Retreat, and that will show you these wonderful superstar instructors that I put together. The team of instructors have been hand-selected as people who are in the industry, who are motivated to help people excel, not only in creating great decor, but in the business side of things. So Promotions and Profits Retreat is happening in Orlando, November 12th through the 16th. The actual 4 days of training is the 13th through the 16th, but I am excited that I'm doing a bucket list item, and I am actually presenting the Disney Institute Business Behind the Magic Tour on Monday the 12th. So if you've been one of those people who've always wanted to be behind the scenes at Disney and go where only cast members go, and wanted to find out how they actually built their brand and have the amazing customer service they have so that you can apply that to your business, then you can come a day ahead and join us for that event. So all of our instructor team is right here, and I'm going to go ahead and start at the top and have them introduce themselves, tell you a little bit about the classes they're training, and if there's any other little tip of why they think you may need to join us or to go to any training. It doesn't have to be just this class. So Katie, we're going to start with you. Can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you?
Certainly. I'm Katie Byrne from Washington, D.C. I own All About Balloons, and I am a full-time balloon lady. And that's about it. It's more than full time. I think I work more hours than a first year lawyer at this point, but I think a lot of us do. So I will be teaching building and selling organic, which is my jam. It's what I love to do. It's what I sell the most of. I sell it for a lot of money, and I am happy to share with you how I build it, how I sell it, and some tips and tricks to sort of make it a little bit easier, because I think organics can be pretty daunting for some people, but they're great, and I love them. I just got back from Boston building a giant wall, and like it takes me all over the place. So it really is something that I love. Joette and I are both going to teach a class about branding and how we have very disparate ideas about our personal brand, but that there's a lot of crossover that happens. I don't think Joette would ever rock blue hair and make that part of her personal brand, but it's part of mine. And I'm really excited to share the differences and how they can work for different people, because this is not for everybody, but neither is a blazer. So I think a really interesting class, particularly. And then we're going to talk about selling some pool decor, which I have been doing more and more of, which is bizarre because I live in DC where people don't really have a lot of pools. It's not like Florida where everybody has one. And for whatever reason, every weekend, past 3 weeks and 2 events coming up, I have a bunch of pool decor. So I'm getting really good at it at this point. So yeah, that's me and what I'm teaching, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Katie. I really appreciate it. And I'm so excited because she has such a unique style with her organic and does so much of it. But part of this too is that you get to have the real conversations about pricing and money, and we're not afraid to talk about numbers. We talk about that openly at Promotions and Profits. That's what it's all about. So Katie, I'm so delighted you'll be a part of our team. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right. So our next on deck, Jonathan Gerber. You want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about why you're a part of our team and what you're going to be teaching?
Yep, my name's Jonathan. I am in Lakeland, Florida. I own a few businesses that I squashed all together so I could do taxes only one time. I like working with a lot of people and making other people do the work. So that's a big part of how I do things, is paying other people to get most of it done so I can be free to keep growing the company. We're going to be working with some fabric, some lighting, feathers, and how we use those in some of our designs, and how I find those things can help us make money on jobs when clients just don't want balloons, but they'll still give us a call because they know we can put up a backdrop or put some fabric on their ceiling. And once you know the basics, it's just like balloons. The basics, once you learn them, it's easy, or you probably aren't doing this the right way. So that's what we're going to go over. And then I'm going to work with Miss Katie on some pool decor, talking about just how we make sure the balloons don't fly out of the pool, basically.
That is all.
Pushed away from a waterfall or whatever. Not that any of that's ever happened to me before, ever.
And I think that's one of the great things about in-person trainings is you're often able to talk about not only your successes, but the things that maybe didn't go quite so well, so that you can learn from other people's experiences and possibly not have to repeat those same problems and issues.
For sure. Yeah, and that is a huge factor, because if you, the other thing about in-person training is, so for the pool decor stuff, I'm going to show you how I got to the point I did with the different things we tried, and why each one of them sucked a little bit less and less until we get to something that I'm happy with. So that way you don't think, oh, well, I wonder if I should try this, because you've already seen someone else has done it. It's a waste of time. In a video, I would never put that in video. I would just show you the one way how to do it, and that's it.
That's a great thing there. One of the things that I want to brag on real quick is Jonathan is the person who actually purchased my company back in 2015 so I could become Balloon Coach. So publicly I want to say thank you for doing that. And the next thing with that is that he allowed me to stay on board to be the marketing director for our company. So I get to exciting job of being able to be part of a growing company, that part of which used to be my baby, and now get to see that instead of being in high school, the business now is definitely going for a master's degree. We get to work with some really awesome rock star clients here in Orlando, and it's fun to be a part of that team. And the other part of Jonathan being part of our team is to give you some of that insight of what it's like to work with larger corporate clients and to meet their needs. And just to let you know that, yeah, there are clients out there that will pay a lot of money for balloons. I know pretty much everybody on our call has had that kind of experience, but because we're right here in Convention Center in Orlando, we get to have that opportunity a little bit more. And so it'll be fun for you guys to meet some of the other staff and the team that he's put together here in Orlando and Lakeland. So Jonathan, thanks for being a part of the team. I appreciate you being so open with the company. All right, so next in our list, we have 3 amazing people coming to us from Vitalik. Oh, and I don't know that we mentioned, Katie is being sponsored by Qualitex. And one of the reasons that I'm able to put on this event and have so many instructors is thanks to the generous support of manufacturers and distributors who support our industry, because I could never have this many people for the price point that I've done this event at. So shout out, thank you, and Qualitex for sponsoring Katie to be with us for the event. So our next group of 3 wonderful people are Eddie, Jan, and Liz. I am going to let Eddie take it away because it looks like we may have lost Jan. So,
What? I hear
okay,
her.
or maybe not. Are you still there, Jan?
I'm here.
Okay, I'm just oh, I see, you're down. I'm personally not seeing your photo.
I don't see anyone's. Oh, there's Jan. When they
Jan's
talk,
back
I see
now.
her.
I see her. All right. So Eddie, if you push the little blue button that has the
I see you.
movie camera on it, you may see everybody.
Come on, Eddie, get with the program.
I don't need to see everybody, but the important thing is, can all my little minions see me?
Yes, they can. So you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you guys are going to be doing.
Okay, comment allez-vous, my little minions? Welcome to Springtime in Paris via Balloon City, USA, Dallas, Texas. How is everybody doing? So we, like she said, we have a team of 3 people that are going to teach you guys all very exciting stuff. We're going to do a theme of Paris, and then we're going to flip it around and show you how you can do a New Year's Eve thing. And it's going to be so much fun because I get to abuse you for how many days do I have them?
4.
Woo-hoo-hoo. So on that note, I'm going to let Jan do all the really important speaking. Segue.
All right, go ahead, Jan.
Well, we are going to ooh la la Paris for you. It's a very popular theme. What's wonderful about it is that this theme is one that very easily can transition into something else. And we'll show you just one of the transitions at the end of the class. All of the items that we have set up and help you to learn how to create all the components. We'll show you how to transition into other occasions with simple changes. So this is going to be just a much wider repertoire of things that you'll be able to offer your customers. Furthermore, the photographs are going to be killer, just amazing. We are going to be able to take professional shots. So you will not only know how to do it, you're going to be able to show your customers too, which is really important. I am thrilled to be working with Eddie and Liz. We all bring something completely different into this class, which is great. I don't know anyone that can sell better than, I'm not sure which is the best one, I should say, Eddie or Liz. I mean, they know exactly how to reach out, grab those customers, and just enchant them into buying what they suggest and leading them into decor that really fits. I love to work on things that make a lot of money myself. My favorite combination is low-cost elements, high perceived value. And I have my little niches too. Eddie kind of does the heavy lifting. Now, I don't know. I think Liz is doing a bunch of lifting too now at this point. She's doing major decor. And I do the frou-frou. My specialty is something that most people just cringe when they hear somebody wants a centerpiece with balloons. because people just don't know. They ask for balloons on a string. Give me 2 or 3 balloons on a sandbag. Boring. So I think what you're going to learn from us is that you can have those low cost elements, create a high perceived value, which means a lot of profit for you. So I have some amazing, I'm so excited, ideas that we're going to be presenting to you, teaching you how you're going to get hands-on for centerpieces. And it's not just one, it's going to be a variety. And then we'll also transition those into the other occasion too. So I think that the most important thing is it's going to be a jam-packed class. The 3 of us are just going to be tap dancing and then handing it off to the next person so that you get the entire picture. So get ready. We're going to have notes. We're going to have instruction that you can take home with you. So if you can't remember, you have people that you can get in touch with. I'm sure looking forward to seeing everybody there.
Thank you, Jan. So one of the things that I want to do real quick before I let Liz do some talking, and she'll be able to speak too from being a past alumni of a Promotions and Profits event, as far as what it's like to be on the other side of the teaching. When you're at Promotions and Profits, it's a hands-on workshop. So yes, there will be time where the staff are up instructing and giving information. But here's the cool thing. When Katie's up teaching, the rest of our instructors are in the back, and as soon as hands-on happens, all the staff break up and help you with the hands-on portion of the event. So even though it's Katie's class, the rest of the team is there to support and help you in your production of the decor. And when so many times we go to a lecture event and you're not able to put your hands on the balloons, you don't tend to remember things as well. So that's something too, when you're looking at your different trainings. Are you a person that needs to touch it to learn it? If so, then I recommend that you choose a class that gives a hands-on portion. Find out ahead of time, is it a lecture class or is it a hands-on class? And if you're a person that needs hands-on, then that's where you want to invest. So Liz, tell us a little bit more maybe about some of the other things that you're going to be teaching us other than just the theme decor.
Sure. First, I just want to say I'm super excited about our theme because themes are just so awesome. You can build on a theme. Those budgets are normally really, really big when you have a corporation saying they need a themed event or a school asking for a themed event. You can really, really stretch that budget big. I'm really excited because when I attended my last Promotions and Profits in Chicago with Tommy and you, I had that hands-on experience, and I literally, it was unbelievable because I was posting these photos on Facebook. I had these recipes right there in this book that you walk away with, and I was able to increase, before I even went home, because I had learned and practiced and built and made these gummy bears and cupcakes and just incredible parade decor. I was able to increase my client's budget by $4,000 before I even left the event. So I was in Chicago and I already made a bunch of money, paid for my trip already before I even returned home. It was unreal. And since then, I have sold gummy bear after gummy bear after cupcake. It's crazy. I could do them in my sleep. I have this book that I have that is like my masterpiece. It's unbelievable. It has all my recipes, and it's so exciting that we're going to have this with our themed event of Paris. We're going to have this book. It's going to have recipes and instructions and tips and tricks. And this thing becomes so incredibly valuable, having that hands-on practice of learning and doing and feeling and touching and having that experience, going away with it, remembering it. And even if you do forget, you still have this book that you can refer to and you'll never forget. It's pretty amazing and pretty incredible. So I'm excited about that aspect of things. Obviously, I do a lot of promotions on Facebook. I talk a lot. I sometimes sell so much. People just want, they tell me, I just make the sale because they're like, okay, I'll take it, because I just talk so much. But I'm so excited about what we do and what I can bring to the table in terms of marketing tips and tricks, how to snag that customer. I am an open book. I am going to show my invoices, my quotes, how I put this stuff together, how I formulate my pricing for profits, where I started from, you know, going from that $9,000 a year, and how I was able to increase the sales by so much in such a little bit of time. I have 16,000 people in my entire county, and yet we did $101,000 or $110,000 last year in balloons. That's crazy. I am a small city, 16,000 people in the whole county. How in the world? And get this, I don't even do balloons full time. Imagine if I was full time and that's all I did. I would take everything by storm. It's crazy. So basically, I'm excited to share with you all the tips and tricks and things that I was able to do that was successful in my business, and how you can use those to increase your sales in your business too. So I'm so excited. I feel like Eddie has like paved the way for me, because literally every class I have ever taken from Eddie, I have like turned around and made a ton of money with. He's unbelievable. I'm so excited to be working with Jan. Oh my goodness. This is just going to be so exciting. And I'm thrilled. I can't wait to join everybody. And like I said, I'm an open book. I'm so happy to share everything I possibly can, and how I started from literally a cash and carry store to now this like balloon emporium. It's crazy.
That's awesome. Well, I had the pleasure this summer, Gary, just to let you know, you're going to be next on deck. I had the pleasure of seeing Liz at her shop this summer when I was on my trip. And she's in the middle of nowhere. I thought I was in the wrong place. And her store is honestly in a residential community. So like, I'm like, why are we next to a house? And are you sure? I'm like, Ryan, did you put the address in wrong in the GPS? So with her being in a county of only 16,000 people, because one of the number one things I hear from people is, oh, I can't afford to invest in training because I'm from a small town and nobody in my small town will ever buy from me. Well, I'm going to mark baloney on that, because Liz is proof that even in a county, not just the city, the county of 16,000 people, she's able to do $110,000 a year in balloon sales. And that is just the balloon sales portion. It's not the rest of what her store actually is with the party supplies and everything. So if they can do it, I know you can, no matter where you live. So Gary, speaking about living in different places, Gary, how about you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're going to be teaching us at Promotions and Profits?
All right. Well, I'm Gary. I'm from Alabama. I ran a retail store for about almost 20 years. And in that store, we had a magic section. We sold magic things. We sold decor. We had characters that went out. We did bouquets. We had coffee mugs, the whole 9 yards. But since I closed my retail store, I pretty much traveled all over the world doing different things. And one of the things I'm fortunate to be able to do is come up with solutions on the spur of the moment. I've been in China, I've been in Turkmenistan, I've been all over Europe, and they don't have Home Depots like we do here. So whenever you get ready to build something or do something, they'll ask you what you want, but in the end, they give you what they have, which is not even close. So you have to come up with some quick solutions, make things work. That's something I excel at. And, I would issue any of you guys to come up with some sort of unique scenario that you have a problem with. Let me know what it is, and let me see if I can kind of help you solve that. I'm also going to be giving you some advice on what to do when you get in a situation where you find out that you left your bases, or you left your poles, or you left your balloons, or, what are you going to do to come up with a way to make the job happen? When I was in Turkmenistan, I asked for some rope, and I told them what I needed. And they brought me back some rope, and I said, well, this is not what I want. And they said, this is all we have. So I didn't see any reason why they even asked me what I wanted. They should have just gave it to start with. And then I'm going to be teaching how to do balloon drops and exploding balloons. I'll show you some high-tech ways to explode balloons, and I'll show you some very low-tech. You'll be just in time for you to sell New Year's jobs. We're going to set up some situations, and I think you're really going to enjoy the way it's going to work out. When you walk away, you should walk away with everything you need to sell a New Year's Eve decor job with no problem. And believe me, when I say low cost on exploding balloons, I'm talking about 2 safety pins and a bottle cap. Everybody can afford that.
Gary is amazing. He is the MacGyver of balloons. He honestly can make anything happen. And I've been very fortunate that I got to see him in action in China in 2008 and how he was having to install things on a pond, and the boat he had did not have an oar. So he had to create something to service his oar for that install. So really delighted that he's there to give you guys insights on really being able to prepare for plan A, B, C up to Z, because so many times in our industry, when you're in the special events industry, things are going to happen, problems are going to occur, and you're going to sometimes forget things. And so having all this knowledge from Gary of all these great tips and tricks are really going to be worth the price of admission just for those tips. So Gary, thanks for being a part of the team. I greatly appreciate it. All righty. All right. And so Cody, we don't want to leave you out. I know you're hanging out down there. Cody, introduce yourself to us. And actually, I'm excited about Cody as an instructor. Also, like Liz, Cody has been a 2-time past alumni of the Parade Promotions and Profits Workshop in Chicago. And now I'm delighted that he also is able to step up and become an instructor. And the reason for that being he has an amazing style. But on top of that, his business is growing and booming because he too, like Liz, has put things into action that he's learned from all the conventions he goes to outside of Balloon Coach and within. So I think we may have just lost Cody's camera. Cody, are you still there though with us? There you go.
Yeah.
There he is.
Can you hear me though?
Yep, we sure can.
Oh, pretty good. All right. All right. I'm Cody. I'm from Midland, Texas, and I took my business full time in March, and it's been really, really good. I'm glad I did that. My sales have increased quite a bit from last year, and so it's been an exciting journey. This is my 3rd year with the business. And in January, I decided to get a van, which is a great investment, something I highly recommend that you do. And it's been a lifesaver, really. I mean, it saves so much time because I build everything at home and just go out and set it up so I'm not spending hours on site somewhere. But,
and Cody, can you tell us what you're going to be teaching?
Yes, I'm teaching organic decor and the more elegant side of it with weddings, and also be a little quince as well. We'll be incorporating fresh floral and ribbons and just kind of some other things just to make it a little nicer, a little more higher end, stuff that you can sell, and just learn how to do it correctly.
That's great. So not just throwing the flowers in there, but actually having a plan with them, huh?
Right, and how to insert them and how to buy the right quality of product as well.
That's excellent. Well, Cody, I am so delighted you're going to go with us. The thing is our team is unique. Each of them have a special strength that's different than the other folks on the team, so that you can learn more than one style of how to do things, and there's always more than one way to skin a cat. And you definitely get that when Gary and Eddie are in a room together, because one of them will tell you to do it one way and the other will tell you another way, and you just have to choose which one works best for you. But that's the unique thing about being in a hands-on situation with so many instructors, is you get to learn all those different tips to see what works best for you to apply to your business. So one thing that I want to make sure that I'm clear with for you is, with Promotions and Profits Retreat, what we are doing is doing 4 unique vignettes. And what's going to happen with those 4 different days is we are building a prom, a wedding, New Year's Eve, and pool decor. All of those items, I have a professional photographer who's one of the top in the industry for going to conventions and capturing amazing moments and amazing items. And he will then have the photos for you to use to promote everything you learned when you return home. So that's the promotions and profits part of it, is that you get to go home with these amazing pictures that you can use as your own photos to sell to your clients, knowing that you have the confidence to build it and recreate it. And then you're going to make more money, because just like Liz said, she was able at Promotions and Profits to go and increase her client's budget by $4,000 just by showing them the photos of what she was doing in Chicago. And I know that you can do the same. So guys, if you need to bump off the call now, you're more than welcome to do that. But if you want to stick around, you're more than welcome to be here for the rest of our questions as I show them more great trainings that are available throughout the industry and ways for them to find it. All right, so I'm checking here to make sure I didn't miss any questions. Oh, Sherry Richards asked me, what is Rise and Shine part of the retreat? So Rise and Shine each morning is from 7 to 8. And what I have found from going to a lot of different trainings on leadership and business ownership and who the successful people are in the world, most people who are successful and make lots of money, they get up earlier than anybody else. And they do things in the morning before anybody else does it to be successful. So part of that is if you would like to get up and exercise or meditate or work in a journal, we are going to have a variety of opportunities for you to be up and engaging with other people from 7 and 8 in the morning, and then have time to shower and eat breakfast before we get started at 9. So the Rise and Shine is an optional, but I will have a list of different things that you can do to get your morning going. So thanks for the question. That's great. All right, so I am going to go back to my presentation here and go on to the next step. So manufacturer websites. So many times people don't realize how much training information and links to other things are available right at your fingertips and your computer. So all the major brands of balloons, the products that are created for the balloon industry, and distributors all have a website that lists the events that are coming up, and I'm going to show you how to check that together. So let's go here, and we're going to start with Vitalik.com. We've got Jan, their education director, right there with us. So when you go up to their website, one thing, if you've not registered yet, you can go here and register to be able to get into the Bee Gallery and be able to access different tools and different recipes. So I want to make sure if you haven't done that yet to go ahead and sign up on their website. But often people are always asking me, well, where can I buy their balloons at? Well, right here you go to the distributors and you click on wherever you're from, whether you're from Africa, Asia, South America, or the Midwest United States. You pick the area and you can grab your distributors. And then over here on their events page, you see all the things that are coming up. And what I want to let you know is this weekend on September 11th, Joker Party Supply is having Robin Beach. She is from Chicago, and I have been blessed to be in her classes. I was actually in the room when she was building this arch here with the purple, teal, and lime. She is an amazing talent. She is a great person, and she packs more information into a class than anybody I've seen. She never wants to disappoint anyone, and so she works really hard to have an amazing class. So if you are in the California area, I encourage you this weekend to go call Joker in the morning and get your seat for her class. It's going to miss it. So again, at Vitalik Events, you can see all the different events that they sponsor that are coming up, and you can click on any of them and find out all the details about those events. So Jan, thank Vitalik for having all that information there for us. Another company that is sponsoring our event that is bringing us balloons is Anagram. And so on Anagram balloons, a lot of times people are telling me, I'm not sure, you know, what their products are. And I know from going to conventions, a lot of times people don't realize that there's more than one balloon manufacturer. They think they all work together, but they're actually separate. So you can go to Anagram and you can find their numbers, you can find their specialty shapes, or right here is their decorator foils. And that's the things that most people know about the most, is like their orbs, their curves, their crescents. And so you can just page down and find all their different colors and everything on their website. And then also you can check out who their distributors are and go to those distributor pages to find more trainings. And then we've got our friends from Qualitex who are sponsoring Katie to come to the retreat. And most of you are aware of the Certified Balloon Artist certification that can happen. I got mine back in 2008. And what you can do on Qualitex.com is go right here to events, and then you pick your region. So if you are from Africa, Latin America, Canada, Europe, Brazil, keep on going. You can pick wherever you're from, and they're going to be able to show you the trainings there. Also on the Qualitex website, they have a ton of other educational opportunities that they let people know about how you can become a certified balloon artist, how you can become a part of the Qualitex Balloon Network, and they are always sharing other tips and hints on their website. So that is another great place to find education and the upcoming events. It's right there. So those are two of our people. The next I told you about is distributors. So Brody's is one of our sponsors who has promoted a lot of things for me in the past when I've gone to Chicago, helped having my inflators. And so they're actually going to have our inflators from Premium for us at the workshop this time also. So you can go ahead and order them in advance to buy them with the deal. And on Brody's website, they actually have a news and events page. And so right now, Tony Twist is going to be stopping in Chicago as one of his stops coming up. And then as you can see, they are a sponsor for Promotions and Profits also. So when they have other events coming up in Chicago that they are supporting, that information is right there on their website. And another wonderful sponsor is Burton & Burton. Burton & Burton offers Balloon University every 5 years. Gary Ledbetter was actually on the team for that several times to lead a huge group build. So every 5 years, Balloon University happens, and they bring in a great amount of instructors from around the world, and they build this huge, huge, huge hands-on design that's just out of this world. So that's why I like to give a shout out to them, because they're a distributor. They don't have to put on a huge training like that, but it's something that they do to give back to their customers. They have a wide variety of vases and other items that florists use. So their primary customer around the world is florists and gift shops. But they also do a lot of great things for the balloon community. And if you go to the bottom of their page, you can go to their education center. And for those of you who know Edward, I never can say his last name. Good. Liz, can you do it for me? Do you know Edward's last name? Menunez? Cody, anybody help me? I'm bad. Anyway.
He just goes by Edward.
Edward, yes. Edward's wonderful. And so he has videos on here and different creative solutions and tips and tricks right on the website. And then the seminars that are coming up, he's going to be down in Miami September 26th, but I heard that is sold out now. But if you want to take your CBA exam, as long as you have all of your information into Qualitex by September 10th, which is just a couple of days away, you can go and take your CBA exam in Georgia on October 9th. So they have that exam happening from 9 a.m. to 1 on October 9th. And then they're having classes on the 10th and 11th with Edward and Jackie. And they both are great instructors. They're very fun, and they have great tips and tricks. So again, another distributor who's offering training, and on their website has a lot of things that you can link to and go to. All right, so let's see who's next. Oh, High Float. High Float is one of the sponsors that's helping out with Cody coming. And on their website, so many people tell me, I don't know how to use the High Float correctly. I'm not sure how much I should use. Can I use it in the cold? Can I use it in the heat? Should I use it indoors, outdoors? All that information is right here on High Float. You just click on the different links, and they're going to tell you about their product and what you need to do. They have design tips. Right here, it's going to lead you to things about using confetti and balloons. And then they're also going to give you more instructions on all the different uses of High Float. If you're wanting to make sure that your helium balloons float for a long period of time, High Float's the way to do it, and their website's going to tell you all about it. All right, another product that I could not live without in the balloon industry. Oops, I did it wrong. always grab it wrong. Sorry, guys. Is Click Click magnets. Click Click magnets are these magical things that can go right on top of a pole and go up to the ceiling to let you put balloons in the air 20 to 30 feet above your head, which is wonderful. And on their website, it tells you all about their products, how the different poles work, and they actually have a gallery too that shows you different ideas of things that have been installed with their products. So another great place for inspiration. Alrighty, so that's showing you that so many times we don't even realize that all these websites are sitting there ready to help us at any time to answer our questions and to help us out. So I wanted to make sure that you knew that. The next thing that I want to show you is Facebook groups. Each Facebook group has an event section. So some of the Facebook groups that you may want to check out, mine, Balloon Coach Community. I'm also moderator for Beginning Balloon Professionals. There's another one that's called Balloon Classes Live, Balloon Friends, Battalatex, Brody's 804 Balloons, Burton and Burton, Click Click Systems, Hypo, and Qualitex. They all have Facebook pages. And when you go to those Facebook pages, it will show you upcoming trainings. So just to give you that real quick. Oops. All right, so on Qualitex, they just moved from having it as a public group to a closed group now. So just to let you know, it used to be that anything you put there, anybody could see, your customers and everything. And now it is a closed group, so they now are letting the events go in there. And so you can see upcoming events. So here is an event that's coming up in Hamburg. And then there's CBA testing coming up, our event, Capital Kid Convention, and Cruising and Ballooning in March. So lots of great information can be found there also. Yay! All right, next. Upcoming special on classes for all levels. Oh, I'm excited about this. One of the things in our industry is there are so many instructors who have been in the industry a long time, have systems in place, but maybe have not gotten out there and taught a lot. And one of those people that has an amazing way of taking care of pricing is Raquel Porter. I just had the pleasure of hanging out with her and Sandy Masori for a 6-week balloon boot camp. And during that boot camp, we took people through a process of steps to help them in growing their business. One of those steps was Raquel teaching the art of pricing and how to know if you're charging enough. She's going to go online through Balloon Coach, and she is going to teach that one section independently as a course. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you have ever struggled with pricing, no matter if you've been in the industry for 30 years or you're brand new to the industry, this is a class you're not going to want to miss. It's going to be set up similar to how I did with Gary Ledbetter, where he taught his big balloon arch system. You can actually join us live for her class. It won't be one of my regular webinars. It'll be an online course on a specific special day, and you'll be able to be on live, ask questions, and then interact with her. So Raquel will take you through the terminology and examples of different cost categories, tips on estimating labor, materials, and how to arrive at a markup percentage to make sure you are charging enough to not only cover your labor and materials, but also the overhead and profit. Once you calculate your labor and your markup percentage, the formula is going to be super easy. So that is some information that I wanted to make sure that you had, that those trainings are going to come up and be available for you. What I want to do right now is take some time to answer any questions that people may have about other training that's coming up. Robert, you are correct. There is another Cody Williams, and this is not him. The Cody that's going to be at Promotions and Profits is from Cody's Red Balloon, and he is a decorator. All right. And Katie is letting us know that Raquel is mind-blowing amazing with numbers. And Raquel is saying thanks. Aw, shucks. That's great. And here's the thing about pricing. It can either make or break your company. Unfortunately, I've seen way too many people in our industry go bankrupt and close up their business because they were not pricing well. So a couple of points I want to make real quick is there is always more to learn. Okay? I don't care if you've been in this industry for 50 years, since the day balloons became a thing you could buy. There is always more to learn. And here's the reason I know that. When I started doing hands-on training, I had a hands-on workshop in Orlando. And the first day I talked about Bridge the Gap to Success. And I just spoke for 8 hours straight on how to build a business, how to price correctly, and how to figure out what your goals are and really break down the numbers and make it. And during that class, I did a test. And I said, everybody write on this sticky note how much you think this piece of decor in front of me you should charge for it to be profitable. And I had everybody go on break, and then we sat there and put all of the sticky notes up on the wall. And I said, please understand, I don't want to embarrass anybody, but we're going to go over these numbers and talk about it. And there was somebody that put a number up on the wall that was 1/10. Did you hear me? 1/10 of the price that they should have charged for that. And when I looked at those numbers, it hit me at how much we don't know what we don't know. And I simply said to everybody, hey, whoever the person is that had that low number, I want to have a one-on-one with you. I don't want to embarrass you. I don't want you to admit who you are. Gary raised his hand real quick because he was in the class, but just take the tension off. But I said, I want to help you out and figure out why it is that you're not seeing the value of what you do at the same level that everybody else is. The person who came up to me later in the hall to tell me it was them was a person I had met in the past at other conventions. This person had sat in conventions and did not know that her product was 1/10 of what she should be charging. And that just shows me the importance of us as an industry being really open with each other and talking about pricing and not making it this faux pas thing to talk about and always say, oh, go look at your job cost form. Because here's the reality. Just like when you open up a retail store, there's suggested manufacturer retail pricing for you to put this bag of uninflated balloons on the wall. And there's a suggested price for this stack of plates, right? Liz, when you get things at the store, I'm sure you get suggested manufacturer retail prices on all those items that you're putting up on the store, right?
Yes, yes. So standard party goods markup is anywhere from 50 to 60%.
Yeah. So you have a guide to go by. So
yeah.
What I've asked the manufacturers who offer training is, why don't we have a guide to go by? Why isn't there something? And the reason I was told there isn't is because they work in so many different markets. And I'm like, okay, but in all those markets, I know that they get a guide that tells them how much to sell a product that's on the shelf. And then also when I go and look at florist, FTD and all that, there is a standard pricing that you can see that happens across the board. So here's what I'm just throwing out to you guys. Get yourself a mentor, get yourself to a training that allows you to talk about pricing openly and honestly. And it's not that you just copy and paste what we have as our catalog for Party People events on our website, okay? Because that may not work for you, because things that run into it happen to be, you know, how much business you do and what your overhead is. But Raquel's pricing method is going to help anybody out to make more money. So just throwing that out there. I know I was on a soapbox about pricing, but it's so important for our industry, and so many people are messing it up and not being profitable. So when we get that information coming out of her class, is going to be in October, I encourage you to be on it if you've ever struggled with pricing. All right, so the next step I want to do is I want to make sure that I have gone over how you decide which training is right for you. And part of that is the website that I gave you guys at the beginning of our time together. And I gave you a link to my blog of Balloon Coach, choosing the right training. So I want to see if you ever are looking for a blog and you can't find it, if you come to the home page and you type right here, and I'm going to put right training as my keywords and click the little box and wait for my internet to pop up. And there you go. So if you're looking to decide if you should be a hobby or a business, if you're looking for how to hire a staff member, anything like that, you can put on that homepage and find the information. So we talked about at the very start, knowing what your goals are for your business is going to help you know what training is right for you. So I want to revisit that and understand it. Write down on a piece of paper, what is your vision for your company? Are you going to work part-time? Are you going to work full-time? Do you want to have a storefront? Do you want to have a warehouse? Do you want to work from home? Do you want to be an entertainer? Do you want to do both? What is it that you see as your reality in your life for your business down the road? The next thing I want you to write down, and you can do that right now while we're talking if you want, is what are your pain points? What are the areas that you need the most help with? Okay? So think about that. When you're in business and you are not able to price things effectively, or when you're talking to a client, they always say the price is too high. Or when you're creating decor, you're not sure how to do the colors, or you're not sure how to make certain patterns. What is it that's the biggest pain point for you? What is the biggest problem you're having? Do you have obstacles that make it hard to travel so that you're going to need to do online courses and that you currently can't do in-person training? And another question is, are you able to take time away from home to learn hands-on? Because here's the thing I'm going to tell you. As you heard all the testimonies from the instructors at the very beginning, the number one way for you to learn in the balloon industry is to get your hands on the balloons and for you to rub shoulders with other people who are in the balloon industry that are having success and let them share their struggles with you and let you learn from their mistakes, learn from their successes so that you can be successful faster. You can only do that in person with really great conversations. Part of what we do at Promotions and Profits is a networking lunch every single day so that you can take what you learned during the classroom today and sit down and talk to somebody about it during lunch and ask more in-depth questions and ask questions to the other people who are at that workshop with you and learn from each other. You can do that at any event that you go to, whether it's at Joker in California this weekend or any other convention or class. Making time to sit around a table with other people and ask them questions about business is going to give you more insight than you'll ever get just from listening to a class online. So if you're physically able to get away from your family, somebody else can watch your kids for you, get to a live class. But if life circumstances are that you're having to take care of other people or have a young child and you can't get away, then go online and research. Start at ballooncoach.com, look at our partners and our resources. And if you're looking for a certain training in a certain area and you're not finding it, send me a private message on Facebook or email me, joette@ballooncoach.com, and I will find resources for you in your area because of all the conventions I go to, I now have friends in the industry from all over the world. And I'm very fortunate that I have distributors, manufacturers, and other people who help support me and will find information for me very quickly. So if you're not finding what you need, let me know. All right. We check with your local distributors. So many times people don't even know where the closest distributor is. So by going to all those different manufacturer websites, click on your state or your country, you're going to find distributors that you didn't even realize existed. And now you can pick up the phone and call them and say, hey, when are you having the next in-person class? Or you can say, hey, I met this really cool person, Katie Byrne, online, or Jan Imes, or Eddie, or Liz, or Gary. We want you to bring them to you here and have a class and have that conversation with your distributor, because that's how distributors bring teachers in, is by the request from their customers. So if you don't see a training you need, request it. All right. So Sandy, Raquel, and I, we bring together a balloon business boot camp 2 times a year. And when that's something that you may look at and have a 6-week session with us. And if you want more information on that, I'll be glad to let you know the next thing. All right. Thanks, Liz. All right. So picking your classes when you go to a live event. One of the things about promotions and profits is you don't have to do that because we all go through the classes together and learn together in the process and walk out with a marketing plan. But if you're going to a workshop like Float in St. Louis or Twist and Shout that's coming up in Chicago, and there's this huge array of classes to choose from, what you need to do is go through these steps that are here on my blog and print out the schedule and think about what are those pain points that you have in your business that you need help with. Pick those classes first that are going to solve those problems. And then make sure you pick one class out that's for fun. Just something that you think is interesting and you'd like to learn that gives you some creative edge and some good times. And then you want to make sure that you take time to take a business course. Everyone always offers some type of business course, and sometimes that's the classes that people shy away from. But those business classes is how you're going to make money and be profitable. So make sure that you go to at least one business class at any live event that you go to. All right. So the other thing I'm just going to let you know that's in here is a bunch of great information on selecting your roommate and going through making the most out of the event. There's lots of details there. I don't need to read it to you. I want you to know that that resource is there on ballooncoach.com in our blog. It's a free area and it's choosing the right training for your balloon business. All that information is right there for you. So are there any last minute questions before I wrap things up? All right. So last couple of things that I want to do is make sure that you take time to figure out again what your pain points are, what you need help with, and then seek out a training that will fill those needs. And if you need help with finding that, call me, send me a text message, send me an email, and we'll work things out for you. I am a sponsor for a lot of different events that happen in the industry, and I'm also aware of a lot of things that are happening where people might not be able to make it to my programs, and that's okay. I honestly will refer you to another program if I think it's going to meet your needs better. So reach out to me and I'll be glad to help you with that. Extra resources on ballooncoach.com is that I have my free blog. We have Elevated.Events, which is an online magazine that gives you wonderful tips and tricks from interviews from other balloon professionals from around the world that I've been lucky enough to talk to, and those are there for you. All the past ones are on the website. I have a YouTube channel that has some free webinars on it. We have our monthly Passport to Success program and our weekly premiere program with Balloon Boss Mastermind. All those revolve around the amazing 36 past webinars that we've created over the last 3 years with amazing instructors from around the world. If you want more information on how to access all that online, just go to my website or let me know. My final thing that I want to say to you is the mastermind principle is that when 2 or more people are actively engaged in the pursuit of a definite purpose with a positive mental attitude, it constitutes an unbeatable force. So that's what happens when you get together at a live training or event and you have time with other people, or when you participate in our Balloon Boss Mastermind group, is when you connect with 1 or more people, so there's 2 of you in the group at least, you now are able to create more than you've ever done on your own. So I always encourage people to, as soon as you can, connect with other people in our industry. We look forward to seeing you in Orlando for those of you who are able to make it there. But if not, let me know where you're needing to find other training and I will help you find it. There's a lot of amazing opportunities out there. All you have to know is what is your vision and your dream for your business, and then go looking for the training to help you get there. And sometimes the answer is outside the balloon industry. I'm just going to throw that out there for you. There are a lot of amazing podcasts online that are about business, and there are a lot of wonderful seminars that you can go to just build the business side of your business. The number one thing is you need to invest in you and make sure that each day you do something positive for yourself and put money away to get to live training at some point. Thank you so much for being a part of this free webinar on training. I hope it's helped you out. I hope it's inspired you to get out of your comfort zone and learn something new from someone. Thanks so much for being here.
Well, all righty then.